The past year has been a rough one for United Airlines. The only people it's been worse for, apparently those who fly with them. Last March, as you may recall, 2 girls traveling with a free family and friends ticket weren't allowed to board their United plane because they were wearing leggings. The next month, Dr. David Dow was dragged kicking and screaming off an overbooked flight, ending with a broken nose, lost teeth, and a PR nightmare for the airline. Then there was Simon, the giant rabbit, who mysteriously died in flight a few weeks later. In July, the mother who said she was forced to hold her 2-year-old son in her lap despite having bought him a ticket for a 3-hour flight that United had oversold. In January, the woman who missed seeing her dying mother for the last time after she was removed from a plane over a ticketing issue. So, is there any recovering from all this? Boston Globe travel writer Christopher Muther joins me. Hi, Christopher. You know what I forgot? They killed the dog. They killed one dog and sent another dog that was supposed to go to Kansas City.
To Japan.
To Japan.
Yeah.
So, is there going to be any price to pay by the airlines for this incredibly horrible behavior?
You know, last year at this time, just before, we were dealing with David Dow, and there was a huge backlash, as you recall, which then led to story after story about airline problems. I just read a study this morning where they were looking at how the public is processing the dead dog, which was put in the overhead bin. And it hasn't been as much of a backlash this time as it was with Dr. David Dow. So I don't think we're going to see anywhere near the amount of backlash that we saw with United last year, which means I don't think anything's going to change.
And they always come in last or close to last in customer surveys, kind of thing. And
right.
We talked about this on radio the other day. I couldn't. Were you suggesting a boycott or saying put up or shut up, you people? What were you doing?
I mean, essentially, that's what I was saying: is put your wallet where your mouth is. And if
I've done that, but it's very hard to eat. Have you noticed that? No, maybe
I've seen you try to do that at Dunkin' Donuts that time.
Exactly.
But people aren't doing that. And in this study that I was just reading, they asked people, you know, if you had a choice, and people said it would come down to price. And that's the bottom line, is people aren't willing to pay a little more for a little more quality, which, you know, is everything from clothes to airlines these days.
You lose the dog, you lose the dog, I guess they think. Speaking of planes, one of the few perks that I think most people felt was good as we're squeezed sardine-like were the in-flight screens in front of us,
yes,
which are spectacular. They're being phased out too, according to you?
They are being phased out because they're expensive to maintain, they're expensive to install, and they also consume more fuel because, you know, the plane is heavier. So it's a win-win for the airlines to take them out, and the airline is now saying, you're bringing your personal device with you. Watch something on that. We're going to stream something for you. But the problem is that, do you really want to watch Black Panther on your phone for 2 hours? Well, you're going to miss so much.
And if you have an iPad or a small computer, where the hell are you going to put it when you have no room to even sit and eat and drink and whatever?
Exactly, and I don't think the airlines have addressed that. If they want to get rid of the screens, they have to look at the bigger picture, which is, what do I do with my Diet Coke when that comes over and I can't put my tray table down? Well,
I can answer that question. You take your Diet Coke to the Naked Hotel. Now, you wrote this story. Is this called the Naked Hotel?
No, that's what you call it, the Naked Hotel.
What is it exactly?
It's called, in Boston, it's called the Elise. It's part of a small chain called Stay Pineapple, based out of Seattle. And in Boston, they have something they're touting as the Naked Experience, which means they're saying to people, it's okay, you can get naked on your duvet, on your bed cover, bedspread, which a lot of hotels, you just don't want to do that. And so it kind of goes against human nature.
So, and you did your best Poirot. You got an ultraviolet. Did you get it from Amazon? Is that what you said?
I got it from Amazon, yeah.
You rented a room, and then you did the ultraviolet to see if there are any horrible things.
I did. I felt like, you know, like 2020 in the 80s. And it was clean. I couldn't find any disturbing stains anywhere.
All clean, everything. The sheets, the duvet, the pillowcases, everything.
It was all clean. Although, you know, take into account that they'd recently opened, and so I was among the first guests using it. But still, you know, people people still have an opportunity. The people in the room next to me, I think, were getting it ready for the next guest in their blue light because I could hear them. Thankfully, I didn't get their
What were they doing? Now, the other day when you were on with us, you mentioned you'd been in Martinique and the rum was the best ever there. Do you remember that?
I might remember. I think I've been drunk a few times since then.
And here's
so
what you said after
you
you said there's nothing like the rum in Martinique. Here's Christopher Muther on Boston Public Radio. If I put down a Martinique rum right in front of you right now,
yes,
and I put down rum from 3 other islands that were inferior based on those criteria you mentioned a minute ago, could you tell the difference between the 4 rums?
Well, line them up and let's go.
You're going to line them up and let's go. Put on this blindfold, please. No, I'm serious. We don't have much time. Just put the damn thing on,
all right.
Please. Thank you. He has the blindfold on. Now, here's what
it's
we're going to
really
do.
tight.
I have 4 rums here. I'm going to hand you one. You're going to taste it quickly, make a quick comment.
Okay.
And then here's number 1. Here's
all right.
Don't touch anything. I'll hand it
I'm looking for the
rum
glass.
number 1, Christopher Muther. Go ahead. Smell it. Okay. Take a quick sip, please. The show's almost over. Thank you. Okay, what do you think? Give it back to me. Thank you.
It's not super flavorful. It's okay.
Okay, here's number 2. No, here it is. I'm handing it to you.
Right.
That's how it works with the blindfold.
Let's see.
Smelling it again. This is very exciting. We've never done a blind taste test before. What do you think of that? Give it back to me, please. Thank you.
You didn't fill them up very fine.
What do you think?
It's a little better. It's a little smoother than the first one you gave me.
Okay, here's number 3. Here, right there. Thank you very much, Christopher Muther, tasting rum. Okay, there, took a sip. Hand it back to me, please. What do you think of that?
No.
No, that is no. And number 4 would be this right here, Christopher
4?
Muther. This
Really?
is like so exciting. It is unbelievable. Okay, thank you. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay, which is the one from Martinique? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I'm going to give it...
You may take the blindfold off, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
1, 2, 3, or 4?
I'm going to say it was 2 or 3.
Judges, that's pretty close. It is 2 and 4. It was a little bit of a trick. Rum, R-H-U-M, which you said was the best, is number 4. We can actually put these up on our screen now. Clement, is that how you say it? Number 2
yes.
is whatever. Number 1 is Bacardi Gold, which is really cheap. You didn't like that?
I didn't like that.
And what did you think of this? This is Myers Rum, number 3.
It was fine. It sort of lacked.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell by the concentration of alcohol and the smell. I wasn't being pretentious when I was putting it in my nose.
But I have no idea what happened. I don't know if it was good or bad. You did fine, I guess.
Yeah, I did great.
Thank you. Nice to see you, Christopher Muther.
Great
That
to
was our
see you.
first blind taste test ever. And I'm telling you, it's probably going to be the last. Nice to see you.